A one-run lead for Philadelphia as we go to the bottom of the ninth, and the question posed in the top of the ninth has been answered. Jim Fregosi will manage as he did during the regular season, and he'll give the ball to Mitch Williams to try to get the final 3 outs and force a game 7.
Remember that old television series, Get Smart, with Don Adams. The great line in that was right 99. Well, Jim Fregosi getting smart and calling in number 99 again. 43 saves this year. It was not a clear-cut thing. I mean, the last time out, Mitch Williams was laced all over Veterans Stadium. And this is his first appearance since Wednesday night.
And he was not warming up with the score 2-0 in favor of Philadelphia in the late innings the other night. Perhaps it's only fitting that in a game like this, no matter which team wins, that Mitch Williams and Tim Batiste will appear in the ball game. They've been a familiar duo in the postseason. There hasn't been a dull moment yet when those two have been in the ball game. Concern about Williams lately from the Phillies standpoint has been his velocity. It has been down in his last couple of outings. Top of the order, Ricky Henderson, Devon White, and Paul Molitor. The Blue Jays need a run before 6 innings. 2 runs and they're the world champions. More at the Theater of the Bizarre involving Mitch Williams in the postseason. Before he can even throw a pitch in the bottom of the ninth, Henderson and the umpire step out.
Look at Darren Dalton. He's clearing the way, too. Everybody is just moving out of the way, including you folks in your living room.
Right. Well, you can see before the pitch could hit one of them at home. His first pitch of ball, Henderson 0 for 3.
John, I think one of the things, that lack of velocity you were talking about, that's what happens when Williams opens that front side too quickly. Right there. When you open that front side, you have a tendency to push the ball. And one thing that would help Mitch right now is try to keep the front shoulder closed.
Mitch last appeared in game 4 and gave up the runs that lost the ball game in the 15-14 Toronto win. He appeared in the 8th inning and was charged with 3 runs. Henderson got to him for a 2-run single in that inning that brought Toronto within 1. The 2-0 pitch. Ball 3 high. Ball 4. Williams walks Henderson on 4 pitches to open the ninth.
It is said that television's a visual medium, but not in Philadelphia tonight because nobody's watching.
Tying run is at first. The go-ahead run, the winning run, the run that would win the World Championship, comes to the plate in the person of Devon White, who had the 2-run triple at the expense of Mitch Williams that won Game 4, 15-14. That's the first strike thrown by Williams. Any thoughts of a bunt by Cito Gaston in this instance?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a possibility.
Batiste even with the bag at third. White sacrificed 3 times this year. Of course, you have Henderson, the all-time stolen base king, at first base. Ricky's only stolen 1 in this World Series. He's been thrown out once.
Thing to watch if you're going to steal against Mitch Williams is whether the right foot passes the left leg. Once he does that, it's committed to go home. That's that Terry Mulholland step-off move. that Williams will use. But once he picks his leg up and commits going home, what the runner watches for is whether the right foot passes the left leg. Slide step to combat it.
One and one, the count. 6-5 Philadelphia in the bottom of the ninth. Up and away, 2 and 1 the count.
See, now Ricky Henderson has taken Williams out of his game. I mean, he's not a pitcher that can use the slide step. So he's been high. He has been high with the fastball because of this move toward home. See, that's very unusual and unorthodox for Mitch Williams. That is the move where he picks the leg up, but once he does that, Henderson may run.
To the plate comes Williams. Foul ball by White. 2-2 the count. Paul Molitor is on deck. You're just joining us. The Blue Jays jumped off to a 3-0 lead in the first inning. They led 4-1 after 4, and then the Phillies scored 5 times to 7 to take a 6-5 lead. There's not been any scoring in the game since then, despite opportunities on both sides. Henderson at first, nobody out. 2-2 to White, foul ball.
That was another slide step, a slider inside to White. But keep in mind, when he does that, his pitches aren't nearly as effective. He is a power pitcher and relies on the high leg kick.
Sharply fouled. Another 2-2 pitch. Another slide step. Another foul ball from Devon White.
Kim Batiste on the line at third. If White hits the ball into the position, a double play gets him out of trouble. It's 2 out and nobody on. I think what he's protecting against here is second and third and nobody out. And I think the odds are now to play the back part of the field and forget about the line. I mean, what are the chances if Ricky Henderson gets on third with nobody out? He'll probably score.
And now Williams is in danger of walking White. The 3-2 pitch. In the air, left center field. Incaviglia makes the running catch. He and Dykstra had an anxious moment as they looked at each other. It looked like Incaviglia thought Dykstra was going to take charge, and apparently Dykstra didn't see the ball because Incaviglia picked it back up and made the play.
Dykstra did not see the ball. You can see him look at Incaviglia right there. And Incaviglia saw it all the way and properly made the catch.
For the first out of the ninth, 6-5 Philadelphia. Paul Molitor, 2 for 4 tonight. An RBI triple and a run scored in the first, a solo home run in the fifth. Ricky Henderson at first with 1 out. Paul Molitor, the first player in World Series history with 2 doubles, 2 2 triples and 2 home runs in 1 World Series. Fouled away, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 2 pitches to Molitor, both clocked at 91 miles per hour. And apparently the velocity has returned to Mitch Williams, who was clocked in the mid-80s in his last appearance in Game 4. Line into center, falling fast, a hit. Third of the night for Molitor. Henderson stops at second.
Paul Molitor has been a hitting machine in this series. His 12th hit. He is now 12 for 23 in the series, and Ricky Henderson has to stop at second because the ball was hit so hard.
And he had to make sure it would sink fast enough to fall in front of Dykstra. So the tying run is at second. The run that would win the World Series is at first, and Joe Carter is the batter. He's 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 4 lifetime against Williams. Joe drove in a run in the first with a sacrifice fly tonight.
I'm sure Ricky Henderson at second base is thinking about Game 2, 8th inning, with the Blue Jays trailing by 2. Mitch Williams with that trick move and nailing Alomar at third.
Warren D playing very close to the bag, trying to keep Henderson close to second. Williams has fallen behind Carter 2-0. Alfredo Griffin, who entered the game last inning as a pinch runner for Olerud, is on deck, and there's that move by Williams. I think he wasn't more than 3 or 4 steps away from second. There's Griffin. And there's a strike. 2-1 on Carter. Carter is 0 for his last 7. And he swung at ball 3. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a flat-footed strike. And Joe Carter, a flat-footed swing that he took at that slider from Mitch Williams. Looked awkward, didn't he?
Now the 2-2.
A swing and a belt, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Joe Carter with a 3-run homer. The winners and still world champions, the Toronto Blue Jays. A world champion for the first time, and Cito Gaston said, in particular, he wanted the Blue Jays to repeat to win it for Paul Molitor. And obviously, Gaston was speaking for the rest of the Blue Jays as well. Joe Carter with the 3-run homer to win it before the World Series. When we asked him how close he was to leaving by a free agency after last year's World Championship to go to Kansas City, he held his thumb and forefinger about 1/8 of an inch apart and said, "This close." But he stayed, and his home run has given the Toronto Blue Jays their second World Championship in as many years.